I like to go over some notes that I think are going to help you with your campaign management and your ability to be more consistent in the revenue you produce from marketing campaigns. I'm Justin Hitt with Ad Briefing's Copywriting Tips, and I'm turning to one of my notebooks here. By the way, these little numbers, when you see them places, are cross-references associated with the different binders and reports that I use. If you're interested in how to organize your copy and materials, ask about that. But this note is the result of a discovery call with a potential client about campaign management. And I want to share some of the key factors that are important to understand when it comes to doing this type of work. Number one is that campaign management requires your analytics to be correctly set up. It means that your lead attribution and your sales attribution must function across all your marketing automation. What does that mean? That means if someone opts in from a web form into your Aweber platform or whatever email marketing platform you're using, that the contact also synchronizes to your CRM system, which could be HubSpot, Salesforce, or whatever platform, and that we now have an origination tag on that individual, which if you're using Google Analytics will be the Google UTM codes. Now I lay all that out for you because that is what is required for lead attribution, and all of that must work. But as you notice, it's 2 or 3 designated systems that don't always work together. So in order to manage campaigns and have accurate results from campaigns, and you don't have to have real-time accuracy, you just need to be able to reconcile your report to know everything is working, you must have that lead attribution straight. Now, once they go from a lead, you've got a separate system, which is now you've sent them an offer. Could be an offer over email. Once they click that, there's an action that takes them to a sales page. Could be a product listing. That could be WooCommerce, for example, or Shopify. And then now the behavior they have there as a lead needs to be able to be tracked all the way to the purchase transaction. This way you can tell if they've added things to cart but didn't purchase. I recently saw a couple transactions go through where the individual's credit cards were denied. And is that fraud, or is that a legitimate person who just put in the credit card number the wrong way? See, this sales attribution side is once that transaction closes, where did the sale come from? Those other attributes are useful for troubleshooting. So a lot of folks don't understand that this is what's happening out there. They often think, oh, internet marketing is so easy. All we got to do is put up a catalog and send traffic to it. We're just going to write the blog and people are going to show up. That's not really how it works. Even when it comes to search engine optimization, a lot of these platforms that sell advertising are encouraging you to go research keywords first. Well, if you have any commerce traffic or any lead traffic, you want to go look at the content that generate the leads and find out what keywords are there first. Digest the content you have that's already getting leads before you start looking for new opportunities, new keywords and stuff like that. And then of course, what we teach our clients and help them do is just write a customer avatar and then go figure out what mailing lists are associated with that avatar and what websites are associated with that avatar, and then just go buy some advertising on those pages. Oh, I sound so mean on that. I know a lot of you guys are chasing organic traffic and you want to be ranked in the search engines and stuff like that. But if you write great copy and you write a solid offer, you can invite people to see the offer, to see the copy in such a way that is going to develop that connection that produces the leads and the sales. Then of course, if you can track where the leads came from, including what source, so Google UTM will give you source, medium, and campaign. You can map that out on the back end so that you can know where to focus your advertising dollars to generate leads. Then when you know which leads convert into sales, the origination of the sales, you can now say, okay, well, I get the majority of my sales from people who are leads first, or I get the majority of these low-cost sales from people who are directly coming from certain websites. And so now there's more value. Now, again, I sound like such a contrarian, but really this is how it works. The SEM tools, the backlink tracking tools, they sell you go get backlinks because that's what they can easily track and give you a tool for. Okay. But you don't need backlinks If you have a joint venture relationship with a website who is deliberately sending traffic to your site, they're referencing you in articles, they're referencing you on their ad rotation, they're sending out solo emails, that is way more valuable than simply just trying to get a link back. Okay. I've got, I think, 8 websites and people constantly contacting me and say, hey, can you link to my article? I get experts who I respect reach out to me and say, "Hey, they ask." So I'm in a number of other people's books. I do consulting, and they say, "Hey, great, you've been great. Is there anything I can do for you?" And what I say to them is, I say, "Well, give me an article or give me something that I can publish on my site and reference your site." And so I'm not asking them to give me a backlink. I want to see whether or not their content attracts the right people from my site and then send them a little bit of traffic. But if their content doesn't attract people to my site or to engage or a value to my visitors, then why would I want their visitors? So anyway, that's something you want to look at. Now, when you're offering an affiliate marketing program or affiliate program, that is another layer beyond lead attribution, beyond sales attribution, because the concerns when it comes to tracking that your affiliates will have are different than your concerns. So they want to know that there's a sale, but they also want to know the EPC and the EPM. So that's earnings per click. So they're going to make an offer on their network and they're going to send that traffic to your site. And then when somebody converts, they want it calculated for them, the earnings per click. And then there's the earnings per thousand. So of the 1,000 people they sent over, how much are they making? And they use that to determine whether or not they can front end advertise or they can, do a solo email or something like that. So that's the third layer of tracking that's necessary. Now it's best if your affiliate tracking works with your on-site e-commerce tracking and it works with your off-site web traffic tracking. Now, if this stuff seems complex, I'm available for hire to either explain it to your team, to audit your configuration, or to ultimately help you get it set up the right way. Because when you're running even $500 in transactions a month, you could significantly increase your revenue by having the attribution correct. Because again, attribution identifies where are the leads, where are the customers, and where are your affiliates who are profitable coming from. So the affiliate wants certain numbers, but you're going to want to know which of these affiliates are generating the very best customers so that you can either offer better commissions or so that you can negotiate the deals there. So now you're managing sales channels because you know where the sales are coming from. You see how that works? So the next thing I want to look at here is that if you're going to launch a product or you're going to launch a site, we want to build on the past experience that you have. So I have one e-commerce platform, I have one email marketing platform, and one CRM platform for 8 to 10 different websites. So all sales go to one place. That way I only have to set up the analytics one time, and then all my campaigns are managed and tracked the exact same way. In fact, all of my copy, so the reason I mentioned these catalog numbers is because all of my copy and articles and everything is actually in a content vault, which allows me to then mine that vault for additional content. So for example, on Ad Briefing's copywriting tips, I'm just going to go to the latest article and it's posted, and it's designing marketing dashboards that improve decision making. So just in the title, I know marketing dashboards and decision making are 2 key elements. Okay, marketing dashboards leads to analytics. Marketing dashboards leads to decision making. So if I was going to mind map out these keywords, I can mind map them out. Now that's a lot of time and effort if I don't know that this thing is converting. Now, I just posted this, I think it's yesterday, and I don't know if it's converting. So, don't go knock me off. But essentially, it's a message that my specific audience needs to know. It's a message that is converted in the past because I do offer services tied to building marketing dashboards or setting up analytics or making sure that the analytics is set up by somebody else works, marketing automation. But what we're doing here by knowing lead attribution is that if if content related to marketing dashboards is generating leads, I can then use these mind maps to spread off of that to then create additional content on that topic area. However, if the additional content in the topic area is not tracking properly, then I won't know that this topic is producing results. That's why we have what's called the topic testing method that I've taught in other programs to basically mine down what creates leads and what doesn't. Now on my YouTube platforms in Looker Studio, which is a free tool that Google makes available, I actually have combined stat leaderboards. That's a bunch of words. Basically, it tells me for my YouTube channels, I have 2 YouTube channels, the pipeline for the last 28 days, what content is generating a high percentage view, a number of likes, and new subscribers. So for my, you guys may or may not know, I have a channel that's about permaculture and homesteading. And so for those channels, the top subscribing content, and I'm going to skip down here into my ones. Okay. So these have had at least 1 new subscriber. I don't want to, see, when you can get the numbers right, you know things, and knowing things increases conversion, makes your sales more consistent, and ultimately produces revenue. So it doesn't do me any good to come on here and tell you I got a certain site and then what's working, what's not, because the content is the easiest part. Okay, the content can be thrown up with AI, it can be scraped off other people's websites. There's so many things that unscrupulous people can do to knock off your site. So once you have these insights, and that's why I don't show you client dashboards. Once you have these insights and you know what's producing the highest earnings per thousand, you know what's producing the clicks. You don't want to put that out as public information. But basically, what I can see here that's generating subscribers for a homesteading channel is grass as a natural resource for soil building. Okay, so if we digest that, so now you know something because your analytics is working and your conversion tracking is working. And now you know something, that grass as a natural resource for soil building is attracting subscribers on a YouTube channel. Now I can expand that about soil building as a keyword, grass, so growing grass, not landscaping grass, but agriculturally growing grass. So that leads into fodder and other things like that. Natural resource, well, what natural resources can you use to build soil? Do you see how we've taken a topic, and I go over this in my content development programs, we've taken a topic that we know converts, and we've spawned off 3 to 5 articles. Maybe it's going to be video article, maybe it's going to be video, article, show notes, podcast episode, all this stuff together. And now we span it around to get additional subscribers. Now, what do we do with these subscribers? Because as far as I'm concerned, a subscriber on YouTube, on BitChute, on Rumble, on all these different platforms is simply a lead on a list. Now, what do we do with that lead on a list? Well, we can do a offer video on that channel, driving specifically to an offer, but probably it's going to be better to drive that content to a landing page that is specific to the subject matter and generate a lead in your own environment. So you've got the initial lead, which is a soft lead. It's really easy to subscribe to someone's channel. Let's turn it into a hard marketing qualified lead on our in-house list and then make them an offer. So again, I've got on this list 100 of the top view, time on the average view percentage, top likes, top subscriptions added. There's 100 to choose from. I want to know which 3 to run campaigns around. Now, I see grass as a natural resource. I want to see a dump. Drop that rock. Okay, that's a short, which is simply a dump truck dumping gravel. Okay? I'm not going to turn that into anything. Now, it generates subscribers, so I'm interested in finding out if that subscriber matches the demographics. So we have our analytics, we have our different layers of analytics, but though that's tied to some kind of demographic platform. So that's your SEMrush telling us what other sites that they visited. That's your Google Analytics demographics, but a lot of subscribers can have thousands of dollars a month in sales and not enough traffic for that stuff to work right. But again, the YouTube analytics will tell you about that audience. You take that information, you build it back into an avatar, but you got to know the difference between somebody who's watching a dump truck dump some gravel with a comical little title versus somebody who wants to build soil naturally. Do you see what I'm saying here? Your analytics must be clean in order for this to work. Now, you could have Facebook to Google integration. You could have what I tend to encourage all my clients to do is always have a Google UTM tracking. That's the tag codes on your URLs for anything that points to your site. Always have that in place. But you may have pixels. So the Facebook pixel, the Twitter pixel, the Instagram pixel, all these different pixels. Now this becomes a horrendous effort. And here's my last recommendation. If you can get any of this set up, I want you to mine that channel. So for example, I've got my YouTube stuff set up. Not only have I got it set up, I've written a program for my clients called Optimize Your YouTube Channel, which uses the topic testing methods to get the data out of YouTube, to get it into basically some Python scripts to give you the quintile methodology that we use to determine what content works and what content doesn't. Get that done for one channel, just one channel, okay? And then when you can consistently tell where the leads are coming from, where the sales are coming from, then try to test your assumptions on the same channel and one other channel. So for example, YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, there's a bunch of video syndication places, Vimeo. They don't offer the tracking that I've got on YouTube. So if I'm going to put special content out there, I'm going to put it out based on what I learned on YouTube, but that doesn't mean it works. That's like getting television buyers on an infomercials and assuming that they're going to buy something by direct mail. They may not. There could be completely different people. But with the analytics in place and with everything tracked all the way through to my CRM platform, my commerce platform, even as tracked as far as my accounting system, then I know who my high ticket people are. And then I know who my product catalog buyers are. And then I can test those things in specific channels to add a different channel. I talked about this a long time ago on my 5x5 program or my 3x3 program, which is 3 lead sources that work consistently and 3 sales channels that work consistently. And that's what you're going for. You're building that up so that on your front end, you know that if you buy $1,000 in advertising on such and such a channel, that your double down date's going to be a certain amount of time. Within 30 days, you recover all the money you spent on the ad. Within 90 days, you're going to have a certain customer lifetime value. That math is what matters. Now, again, YouTube is not going to teach you this stuff because people working in ad agencies don't know this stuff. People that are hardcore direct response marketers are not running newsletters. They're doing this as a service. And then if they're looking for the mid-level client, $1 million plus business, they're probably going to do this in a multi-day seminar. Okay. Now I teach it here because I target a $10 million plus client. If you've got $10 million plus in revenue, Lillian Vernon was one of my clients. I've worked with now Lillian Vernon. I did more of the technical side, the integration, making sure the nightly batches ran, making sure their AutoSys runs. That's enterprise level stuff, which we can mimic today with tools like Zapier and things like that in scripts. But when I was doing that kind of stuff with Dominion Enterprises and other organizations, it really was about how do we know where the customers are coming from? How do we get more customers? And where do we place our advertising dollars? And that for a $10 million plus company, some $10 million plus companies don't know that that's a thing. They don't really, they just, slinging stuff out there, whatever the latest ad agency comes in and offers them. Now, when you understand where your leads come from, where your sales come from, when you have these metrics, customer lifetime value, cost per lead, cost per sale, you can then start leveraging And this is why I have no concern about telling a client the $3,000 to $4,000 a month they're investing with me and the work that my team is doing, that they put that on the marketing line item, on their advertising budget, and include that in the cost per lead, include that in the cost per sale, because we can get you to break even faster by knowing what works and what doesn't work. Now, again, like I mentioned before, if the integration between someone on YouTube clicking a link in the description, coming to your website, looking at a few pages, opting in somewhere, getting an opt-in upsell, then going over to the e-commerce checkout, and then checking out. If any one of those steps is not linked together with the technology, then you won't know how half of them drop out. Are they dropping out on the first landing? Are they dropping out after they got to the product page? Are they dropping out to in the checkout? Maybe your merchant account stopped working for some reason. Maybe there was too much traffic. Maybe you were using PayPal and PayPal shuts you off because they don't like your content. See, I advocate shorter paths to sale. I advocate chunks. So for example, if they come from YouTube, a link in the description, and they opt in, then we stop there. Okay, now we still make offers and things, but we affirm and we track and we know that this lead came from a certain source, and then we consider the cross sell on the confirmation page, the follow up welcome message that makes an offer, the first couple of follow ups that make offers. We consider those individual campaigns, and then so the linkage of those campaigns uh, can maintain, following standardized systems, can maintain. And so we know, okay, we know how we got the lead. We know where the leads came from. We confirm we have permission to follow up with them. Now we know which campaigns in the follow-up we're generating sales. And now it's not all mismatched. It's kind of, it's really easier to track. We can get it in a spreadsheet. We can use Tableau. We can use Looker Studio to just show you what works. What I get excited the most about is when I download some stats, I put it into a little script, and the script says, this is what works, this is what doesn't. Okay, get back to marketing, get back to work. Now, the setup to that is kind of a pain. It takes a lot of work. A lot of things can break. It needs to be constantly monitored. It needs to be constantly checked. Like, how often do you know that the someone landing on a thank you page is actually a lead? You go into Google Analytics and there are like 15 people on the, 15 triggers of an event that they're on the landing page. And then there's 5 on the thank you page. But when you go to your email system, there's only one person there. Like, what the hell happened? Well, a lot of times when they double opt in, they miss the opt-in message. So someone can manually, from a legal perspective, somebody can manually go into the CRM system. If that person transferred to the CRM system, can go in the CRM system and follow up and say, hey, I noticed you opt in, but you didn't confirm. I just want to make sure our system's working. And do we have your permission to send you the information you requested? You'll find out about half of those are spam. And the other half are actual, they're people who legitimately want to buy from you, but they couldn't. Now, when you have 5 of those a day, you can have somebody on staff do it for you. When you have 500 a day, then we use automation. And we use automation that's so for example, for the privacy rights in some countries, the single opt-in is not valid. However, a customer transaction or a inquiry transaction, you can reply to that. So I make it very clear that on the opt-in that they're inquiring to get more information. And so I'm only following up. My team is only following up to make sure they got the information they requested. And then after that, I can't send marketing materials to them. But if they opt in, they finish the double opt-in, then I got permission to send marketing materials to them. So that name is going to come into my email marketing system and my CRM system properly tagged so that I can follow up in my CRM system even if they drop out of my marketing system. Now, again, if this is useful to you, if you like me to go in depth with your team or on a group coaching call to cover the nuances of your analytics, or to work with your technical team or marketing agency in order to get better at this, because attribution is everything, then simply, you can comment below, or you can visit www.adbriefings.co I'm Justin Hitt. I'm a marketer, direct response style marketer. I have years and years of experience to sell my own products, helping clients sell their products. I've worked in enterprise environments. I've worked in small business environments, and I have created hundreds of millions of dollars in new revenue for clients, mostly because they have something that works, and our optimization of business process, our optimization of marketing funnels, our optimization of analytics just drives it home. When you know that this topic is making these sales, you know where to focus. You know what new mailing lists to hit. You know what new offers to create. This is the magic that we create using accountable direct response marketing and using the right and appropriate technology for your environment. If you'd like me to audit your environment, contact my offices immediately. And we're working on a couple audits here and there, and it is revealing that half the stuff on your website does not work. Now, we also do this for storefronts because a lot of stores don't even count the number of people who came through the door versus the number of people who purchased. A lot of stores don't track they don't capture the phone number and address of the individuals who purchase. Even a little, okay, so I'm gonna leave you this last thing. A convenience store in my area that has a little lunch counter, they take a ticket at the lunch counter with your order. And then if your order is $20 or more, you can write your name and phone number on the back of that ticket and put it in a like a container. Now this is a no frills gas station slash diner slash grocery store slash penny arcade, and it has a better marketing system than most people do. So you put your name, you put your little ticket that you got from the food, sign the name on the back, put your phone number on it, drop it in the container, and then the first of every month they pull a name out of there, call you up, and you get $50 in free gasoline. Okay, that container, which they empty out every month. Okay. And what do they do with the names and addresses? I don't really, well, the names and phone numbers, I don't really know what they do with those. But, there are things they could be doing. But they empty that container out every month, and I've never seen that container not full to the top. Again, any order, $20 or more, they're increasing their average transaction size, and then they're trying to get customers to have a high transaction in a short period of interaction. If a gas station can do this, then you can do this in your store. You can do this on your website. You can do this in your e-commerce platform. You can do this as a publisher. You can do certain things that I've helped clients do for years. And I had nothing to do with this gas station. I was just getting a good chicken sandwich there, and a good old bacon cheeseburger. But folks, come on, man. Come on, ladies. Let's start optimizing, organizing, and ultimately increasing your sales. Now is the time to do it with inflation as high as it is. Now is the time to make every dollar more accountable in your marketing budget, and I can help you do that. Visit me at www.adbriefings.co.uk, even if you only have questions, and I'll continue to answer your questions in the podcast and here, because I want to make sure you get these insights that are not commonly available, and often, people with $20,000, $30,000 a month budgets that they're just blowing because their ad agency is running the gimmicks. And we'll talk about the gimmicks in another podcast. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next podcast. And this has been about managing your marketing campaigns and how to get better results with cleaner and clearer attribution.